problem with exercise is that you need to see it to believe it. You need to see the results. The whole industry is built upon seeing results, right? Everybody loves to see a return on their investment, especially when it comes to exercise. So you keep track of the record, how long have you been doing it for, the number of times you've been doing it, and you still don't see the results. You still don't see the change in your body that you want to see, you don't see the change in your performance. Say you're trying to ride your bike faster, you're trying to run faster, you're trying to run further before you experience that knee pain or that foot pain. Or you're just trying to survive your day without upper back pain or heel pain or knee pain. The problem is with those problems, it's not seeing the results, it's feeling the results. So depending on what sort of results or outcomes you're looking for, you either need to see it or you need to feel it. And the problem with exercise, and one of the reasons people stop, is because they don't see the results they want to see. They are not more flexible in a certain exercise. They don't see the body transformation that they're looking for. They don't see the result of a faster time. They don't see that they can run further. And so they say, I should just give up. I'm not seeing my results. It's not working. Well, at that point, they're rethinking their commitment. They're asking themselves, do I want to commit to this? Is this really going to get me to the result? And at that point, it's unknown. You're coming from a place of it's unknown. You don't know. And your commitment is wavering. When you commit to the direction, so let's just take this as an example. Say that you commit and you say, I'm going to stick to this even though I'm not seeing results. It might be a week later, a couple days later, a month later, a few months later. At some point, you will start to feel the results before you see them. Here's an example. You might feel stronger in your legs and in your ankles. So while you're not running further or faster, you do feel stronger. You've recognized some change within your body. Something is different. And that came at a perceptible level to where you could articulate it. I feel stronger in my legs, I feel stronger in my knees. So the feeling that you have precedes the results that you're going to see outside. So that's how quick can you run, how flexible is your hip, how flexible is your toe. But if your upper back feels stronger, but you still get the upper back discomfort by the end of the day, you're growing into that transformation. We all want results to be, I'm on the other side already. But a lot of times, that path that links you from the beginning of the result to the fully transformed, I'm a completely different person result, that has its own timing. When I listen to people describe it, they might say, here are some semantic markers that to me indicate they're right at that window of transformation. My knee feels stronger, but I can't run that fast. Yeah, I can feel my abs underneath, but I still can't see them. Sure, I can move my arm this far, but if I move it this far, it still hurts. Yes, my back doesn't hurt for the bulk of my day, but it still hurts at the end. There are some key semantic indicators that point to they are at this window of transformation. And it's still delicate because at that point, they're affirming to themselves, the more that they talk about it, they're validating, hey wait, I'm having a different experience. And they're still shaping the story of the experience. Yes, I can move my arm further, but it still hurts here. That is completely justified because in the tangible form, it does still hurt there. The important point is to start to broaden the story a little bit to say, wait, there is a lot of my shoulder that's moving much better than it ever has before. It still hurts. And so you can still describe it hurts, and it's very important to know when it hurts, how it hurts, or you're running faster except for the last 5 seconds or the last 20 meters of your 100-meter run. Or right as you're closing in on the marathon, you're still over 3 hours. Whatever the case may be, it's still important to know the problem point. But equally, it's important to take a step back and say, let me chart my progress. Let me compare where I am now to where I was before. What's similar? There's still pain. What's different? Okay, I had pain kind of mid-marathon before. Now, it's actually no pain, but I'm still not reaching my time. Okay, so you still have a goal to chip away at. You're still at that window of transformation before you make it all the way through. And so that still might be indicated by feeling it until you see it. So in this industry that's built upon, I need to see it to believe it, there's still this window of transformation that can happen in your story of embodying something different physically, movement in a different way kinesthetically, and even emotionally and mentally and spiritually, how you feel about where you are. And sometimes it's really hard for us to see ourselves and to see, wait a second, I'm at this window. And it's really good to ask a question of, who can I talk to, not how can I finish it? Because sometimes when I talk to somebody, they describe it to me, because I listen to other people during these windows of transformation, it's easy to hear it. I can see it in their movement. They have a hiccup, but there's some more freedom there if you were to slow it down during their movement pattern, but they cannot fully embody it yet because they're not all the way out the other side of the window. They haven't completed the transformation. So when you have that validated and affirmed, and somebody can literally say, yeah, the way you're describing that is perfect. You're on like step 7 of 8. You're right there. Stay with it. It can be very affirming to what we feel and what we experience. Because sometimes we start off with this criteria of, I need to see this. I need to see my abs, but you can feel it underneath. And that's developing. And that feeling precedes what you'll be able to see in the external world. And I understand that it's extremely hard to buy into that in a way. And I understand that it's much easier to quit than at that moment of indecision to recommit and say, wait a second, I'm actually going to double down on my effort. I know that it's hard. It's extremely difficult for all of us at that moment because it can hurt. It can hurt. It can hurt in the sense of, because when no one's really asking you, that's kind of meaningful. It is meaningful for you to achieve that. And sometimes it's even hard to acknowledge how meaningful it is to see the result and to need to buy into the fact that, wait a second, all I'm going to get right now is the feeling. But it's when you take a step back and go, wait, that feeling is really important. You can start to use that as an incredibly important signpost. So here's what I want to get home to you. Feeling it precedes seeing it. You're doing a great job. Reaffirm your commitment and see it all the way through. If you like this, stay on my YouTube, my Instagram, my website, DominicSessa.com. If you're on my newsletter and watching this, thank you, and we'll talk again soon.